All right, greetings, sending you all some warm, positive vibrations. So this is Body-Culinary, and I just wanted to come on this morning. Oh my goodness, I'm feeling so much better. So I just finished some of my vigorous joyous movement session, and I just wanted to check in really quick, just to share perhaps some tips on coming back from an injury. So I was just recently in an accident, a car accident, which has never happened to me before. And that can really be a blow to the ego as well as it's actually really scary. So I'm lucky to be here. And I just wanted to just talk about coming back from an injury and also overcoming depression. An injury, if you're very athletic, can lead to depression, but also a lot of folks in general today are dealing with a lot of stress and depression. And this can lead us to escaping and distraction with food, alcohol, substances, toxic relating and relating with folks. So I just finished jumping up and down, and you cannot be angry and upset when you're jumping up and down. So one of my top things is actually my trampoline. So I invite folks to get a trampoline. It's something that we're going to be going over. Inefficient fitness. I just got a really nice truckload and something. One of the tools we use in one of our classes is heart rate monitors and fitness trackers, one of which many people have but they're not using. So if I look at perhaps, and we can use different kind of accountability tools. If I look at this morning, I just burned in half an hour 237 kcal or units of energy. And my heart rate, this was in half an hour, so I measured it in my house. And my heart rate average was 144 beats per minute. This will make more sense. We'll go over it in efficient fitness. And it went up to 161 beats per minute. And I'm able to see what zone that I stayed in. So I see, for some of my clients that are familiar with the heart rate monitor, fat burn, right? 18% of the 237 units of energy that I burned were in the fat burning zone. So this is a big distinction. I invite you to ask the question, and I'll put this out to you, question trivia. Would you prefer to burn most of your calories, let's say in half an hour, from fat or in the fitness zone, right? So right now, as I'm standing here chatting with you, I'm burning most of my energy and my fuel from adipose tissue or fatty storage. So I'll give you a clue, but I'm not burning a whole lot. So we're going to talk about that more in efficient fitness. So that's what I burn, not leaving my house, in a small space in my little studio on my trampoline there, and jumping up and down with some excellent house music and Afrobeat music. I feel so much better. I did not have to impact my shoulder. There's no impact on my knees, no banging. I'm in the privacy of my home. I didn't have to go and travel out anywhere. And it's in the first thing in the morning, so it's like a shot of coffee. So I don't need to drink caffeine or coffee to give me that boost. For years, I've relied on early morning, vigorous, joyous movement as my boost. And it's so excellent. So that vigorous, joyous movement, you want to definitely get that in. Dancing and jumping up and down doesn't cost you anything. And on the trampoline, this actually is an inexpensive one. Once I get into trampolines, I want another one. So now my sister was like, why are you getting a trampoline? Now she has another advanced version, and I'll probably get another one. This was a super cheapy deepy trampoline for me to try out, but you can get the much, much, much better quality. So one is dancing up and down. Number two, community activity. So to come together, right, in today's climate of social media, I make an effort to make a really positive use of the internet. So coming together around an activity. It's one thing to talk about what celebrities are doing and these people are doing. I prefer to come together around an activity. It's going to land somewhere. Preferably something that's reciprocal. I'm receiving, either I'm being compensated in some kind of way, or I'm being inspired and I'm being motivated. Somebody sharing their crafts or their gifts or something. So reciprocal relationships and coming together around an activity. I'm looking forward to playing with one of my sisters. Precious Soul, is going to come play with me in the garden. So that to me doesn't occur so much like work. I'm coming together around an activity for someone that also has a similar interest. So community activity. Again, I like to make the distinction on this channel in this climate that we're in. I'm not talking about religion. Shout out to you, whatever religion. I'm not talking about cults. I'm talking about if you're interested in something, or you're interested, for example, in eating healthier and fitness, identifying, or perhaps, searching, put your antennas out there to find other folks that are interested. African dance has always been one of my favorite, but coming together around an activity around either movement or fruits and vegetables, or if it's something around finance or some exercise I can do to discover my blind spots. And when it comes to business, I'm all for it. It's a specific activity rather than spending hours and hours of talking, but I'm not getting anything back. So there's dance, jumping up and down in the privacy of your own home safely, community activity. 3, something I say a lot is water in a wine glass. So not only water in a wine glass, I'm going to make another distinction, right? So I love being a scientist. So I periodically take and mark all of my glasses. So this particular wine glass I know is 24 ounces. I know that this one is approximately 20 ounces. So I have measuring cups. I love to experiment, right? This particular jar, sometimes I'll use a plant milk bag. This is 44 ounces, right? This one I know is 64 ounces. So I am big into different types of containers and things like that. So I like to cut the guesswork, and then I don't have to think about it anymore. But I'm not guessing about what I'm putting into my body. Most of the time, most folks do not like doing a food journal because it makes you very accountable, and many of us don't want to go through the withdrawal of perhaps eating too much or releasing the emotional pacifier to the food, even if it's healthy food. Too much food is too much food, right? So I know exactly how much water I'm getting. And then also trivia for those folks that are in common sense nutrition. So you can answer this in the class is, some people wonder, well, how much water should I be drinking per day, right? And then the source of the water. Here on this channel, I prefer living water. It does make a difference. Can y'all tell I got some sleep? For the first, I feel so amazing right now. Just for some sleep. It was a broken sleep, but I made myself go back to sleep 5 times, getting up early, and my movement, I feel like electricity. All right, so that's number 3. Water in a wine glass. In particular, take a piece of one of these chalky things and measure your different glasses so you can get an idea of like, wow, how much water am I drinking or not drinking? And I like to put things in attractive glasses that will entice me, greetings, that will entice me to drink. And one of my key, I love distinctions, is numbers. So I think chakras, bindi, in other worlds, but we also live on a planet in the 3D plane. We have a body. Sometimes it gets hurt. Sometimes it feels sensations. So this is tangible. So numbers can help you stay very objective. So again, not only water in a wine glass, but perhaps find some of your most attractive glasses. I'm a strategist. This one, I know I'll burn my hand because I like warm to hot water and tea. So I put a little sleeve on some of my mason jars. I know this has markings on it of how much is in it, right? So these things keep you objective, right? And you're measuring. So I like to consider the body temple is, in one sense, it's a business. And is our business functioning optimally? Is it functioning at a profit? Is this business, is it going to be able to serve me in 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, in my 70s and my 80s? That's the goal. So I'm going to put some different objective accountability tools and measuring tools in it. So exercise tip, water in a wine glass, but measure your glasses so you can get an idea, because this will start to stimulate your discernment and your critical thinking when it comes to nutrition and fitness, right? At the end of the day, ultimately, we want a certain type of result. And we measure the result in your performance, your vitality, your longevity, your body odor, your elimination, how much adipose tissue is on your waistline, right? The technical term for fatty tissue. Are you metabolizing what you're taking in? So then it's not ultimately about the label that you call yourself. We're looking for results. Greetings, Level Way, Ma Rosetta. So that was number 3, water in a wine glass. The other thing is number 4. The 4th tip is cleaning your house, right? Cleansing, more than clean, because sometimes the words can have a trick in all the picture. Cleansing your home. We think a lot about cleansing the body. However, I found if you perhaps maybe there's little settings you can put on your computer, it will start to dim the lights maybe 2 hours before bedtime. And maybe a note that when you put that alarm, let's say you put the alarm on your phone at 2 hours before bedtime, you know, at that time you may want to light an incense, dim the lights on your computer. You may want to put an alarm that shuts your computer off in 2 hours, right? Because if you rely on your own mind, you'll find more things to do to continue to be enticed and hypnotized by the computer. You can put the alarms on so you start to set the tone and start winding down perhaps 2 hours before bedtime, and cleansing your home so the scents. Last night I pulled some oregano from the garden, also put some sage, and I was boiling the tea. Some of the tea I'm going to use to rinse my hair, and the rest of it, I like the scents of the herbs in my home. So we spent a lot of money on incense, AFROLOCS. What are the different things that we can pull? I have so much oregano in the yard, which is good for infections and antifungal. You can put it in your shoes. It's good for dandruff. So I can also start to burn that instead of just buying everybody's incense, right? So one of the goals with AFROFlowernomics is that all the flowers of the diaspora, we have enough things to pull from the yard to engage our therapy and our grooming and to make ourselves feel better, right? So when you're cleaning your house in the evening and you leave it clean and clear, right? Let's say this bottle, I know 64 ounces, this will keep water and tea piping hot. If when I'm cleaning, I can boil some water at the same time and I can steep a tea, it will still be piping hot. That's one less thing that I need to do in the morning, right? I can also fill my water in the glass and I place it strategically so I know as I pass it, I'm like, okay, I might as well drink it. So you can use laziness to your advantage. I'll put a cute straw in it, you know, so I already know tea is ready. The house is nice and clean. My play area is nice and open, so it's easy for me to have access to my yoga mat and my trampoline, and I got my playlist ready. So this can be part of your wind down ritual, even if you're watching the YouTube videos. And I encourage you to use some of these videos as an offering of positive support. Maybe perhaps when you set that alarm, you might have some good music on, put one of these videos on, and that will encourage you to chop your vegetables, portion them, put them away, and ready your space so that you can have your vigorous, joyous movement practice in the morning. So you don't have to think, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. You know that you pay yourself first with your movement therapy. I feel so much better. And I was like, ooh, I was down for the count. It's rare in my life I can count, but I am on the humble. Just some sleep, allow my body to digest and not have to deal with a whole bunch of food, still getting some nutrition in, but that rest, and then to get up and do some vigorous movement while I'm bleeding and sweat with some good music, I feel resurrected, child. And so what's the other tip? So you want to leave your home very clean so there's nothing in your way. You're inspired in the morning to get into your movement practice. It also helps to have like some comfortable, without too much wire, comfortable but good support bra and some cute little shorts or something so you can look at your body parts as you're dancing. And I also like to keep my like stash of waist beads, honey. Got to have the waist beads. That's the bling. That's the Afro flower bling. So right now, actually, with waist training and folks that are working with me, I am doing some that are custom. So I'm not a factory. I don't mass produce them. But waist beads are something that I have used to adorn myself for several decades. So have your waist beads. I have my little delicate Afro cowrie, you know, femininity amulet on. And so what was the last tip? Water in the wine glass, support, dancing, jumping up and down, community activity. Oh, the last thing is going to be accountability tools. So I invite you to get a calendar. I love calendars and planners. I have all kinds of planners. I got colors and I can color in them, month at a glance, but I invite you to get a month at a glance calendar and put it on your refrigerator. If you have children or your spouse or your partner, you can take a crayon on a string and put it there on the side, something colorful, something fun, occurs to the brain differently. I invite you to put it on the refrigerator, a small month at a glance calendar. And what you're going to do is so here's Body-Culinary is my rubric of positive accountability. If you get cardio, so I would consider that like a cardio session. It wasn't any strength training. On my dancing up and down, I was bleeding in sweat. What was it? 237 calories, no machines necessary. I didn't jack up my back. And I was able to roll my shoulders while I was doing it, right? With no weights. So that would be a cardio session. So my rubric is a C for cardio. So I would just take my calendar and I would just put a little C, right, on the month of the glass on the refrigerator. If I did strength training or resistance training, I would put a W. Or if I did a combination, I would put C, W. If I did flexibility or yoga, I'll put a Y and put a circle. So at the end of the month, if this whole thing is full, then there's no way that your body is the same, right? And so these are some objective tools. So if you're interested in the calendar that I like to use, I think it's quite cute. If you get on the mailing list, I will make that available to you. So just say I'm interested in the calendar. And you can go to info@bodyculinary.com and sign up for the mailing list on body-culinary.com, and you'll have access to that calendar. So again, it's an accountability tool, because every time it's positive accountability. Every time you go to that refrigerator, you'll see whether or not you checked anything off, right? So getting 2 workouts in is not 0. Many of us are all or nothing. I know what it's like to be all or nothing. But 3 times is not 0. So if you only got 3 movement practices in, don't beat yourself up. The goal is to keep outdoing yourself, right? And to look at your calendar is going to be like your EKG report, right? It works. Certain things work, have been working for years. A positive accountability tool. So you're going to put it on your refrigerator. Before you know it, the next month you may have 10 workouts or even 7. The next month you may have 20. You may come out of the gate fully organized, got everything in order, and come out of the gate with 20 something. If there are 30 days in a month, if you got even 25, by process of elimination, there's no way that your body can be the same, right? So this is coming together around an activity, around something specific and objective and measurable, right? This body is a business. How can we tell if we're being effective in our efforts to change it? So I can tell you, as someone that has worked in the fitness industry for years, there's something called sports specificity. How you train is what you look like. If you haven't been moving the body, then it's no surprise that the muscles will atrophy. Then it'll be no surprise if your profession now has changed and now your movement pattern during the day is that you sit down a lot, then your body is not going to burn your fuel as efficiently. And I've seen several of my clients, their spouses, way before this whole situation that's going on in the planet, when they switched to working more from home, they gained a tremendous amount of adipose tissue, and they became very deconditioned walking up and down the stairs because they removed a lot of movement out of their daily movement pattern. So what we can do is work it back into our movement pattern. So I'm going to leave you with that. Hopefully those tips are helpful and practical. I like to think that, quote unquote, spirituality is very practical. Very practical. And anything that we say that we really are endeavoring to take on, that is a core value. If we are serious, it shows up in 2 places, on your calendar and in your checkbook. So if we're spending more on, which is not bad or wrong, spending more on Netflix and spending more on eating foods that are not in alignment with what we say our goals are, then that's what we're really committed to. That's what we're investing in. If we look on our calendar, if we had to mark on our calendar how much time we're spending on T channels, this is not to make us bad or wrong. This shows what we are committed to and what we are investing in. You can't get that time back. So I know I want to leverage my investments. And if I'm investing, I want to get more back. That's an investment. I'm getting more back than I put down initially. So I'm inviting you all to create a great day on purpose, just because you said so. Feel free to replay this while you're decluttering, cutting up some fruits and vegetables, or stretching in your movement area on your low mat. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. I'm feeling so much better. Sometimes you may think like, oh my gosh, you can't see your way through pain or depression. Clean your space, grab something, anything, start cleaning. Just start cleaning, get quiet, and relax. All right, see y'all soon.